Alright, so welcome back to the second part of the run-through of Civilization, the board game. And I will do another round, and we will take a quick look here. I'm just gonna do a little bit of editing here, because I forgot that Draco actually had his social policy in natural religion, which means he has one more movement space with his army figures if they are moving alone. And this guy is. So, let's see, he could have actually gone and taken the hut already in the first round, and then he would have gotten a level 1 technology. So he should have one more level 1 technology, so I'm gonna be fair to him, and he's of course going to get the agriculture, the same that I got, so that means he will also increase his capital to a metropolis. But he has walls, so he has a bit more defensive strength than I have. And he will put it like that, and that means he gets 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and he gets one extra because he has despotism, so he has 8 in production. And so we go to the start of the turn, and Draco doesn't have any effects at the start of the turn. He's actually the first player now as well. I'm gonna move this one. So we'll go right to me, and I will get 1 culture for my social policy pacifism. And I will also get 1 extra because I have a scout on the board. I actually have 2 scouts, but I only get 1 still. That means I have 4 now, so I could spend 3 of them in my city management to move on the track, and I will show you how that works soon. Okay, and then we go to the trade. I will look in my area here. I have 1, 2, 3 trade symbols, so I will get 3 trade. That was a bit tricky to say. 3 trade. And Draco here, he has 1, 2, 3, 4, so we get 4 trade, as he should say. And then we go to the city management, and Draco is the first one out, so he's the first player. So he gets to choose, and what does he want to do? Now, he could actually build something now because he has the 8 fraction, and the barracks costs 7, so I think he would just build a barrack. And this one is a bit special. There's a few of these. It has a little star up here, which means you can only have one star building in your city. If you choose he chooses the barracks now. That means he can't get the bank and he can't get the temple. So it's sort of like saying that he's focusing on military. And I also forgot in the first video. I'm sorry about that. It's so much things to keep in mind. I didn't finish my sentence, and I was telling you about how to win the game, because you can win the game on the culture track, you can win it by military, but you can also win it by gold. If you get 15 gold, you will win the game instantly. So that's why the bank is one of the stars buildings as well. That was the thing that reminded me. So if you get that one, then you will probably go for a gold victory. And there's quite a few ways to get gold in this game, and you will keep track of it on your player board over here with this arrow here, and you will just move it. And also, if let's say that you have 5 gold, you will have the marker over here. Then when you research, instead of going all the way to 0, which you would normally do, you would stop on 5. So that means you could go for a gold victory, but at the same time go for technology. And that's the 4th way to win that I also forgot to mention. It's sort of a timer. It's basically, it works like this. I can show you right away. These are level 1 technologies. When I get to level 2, or Draco in this case, he would put it right here, between one of these 2. So he built like a pyramid, right? And once he got enough cards here on the level 2, he can build level 3s, and then he can be level 4s. And once he got 2 level 4s, then he can build the level 5, which is there's only one of, because if you build it, you win. And that's the space flight. Then we go to space. Then you immediately win the game by a technology victory. So there's 4 ways to win this game, which is one of the things that really makes the game good. And this game could take, like, I don't know, let's say 3 players, no problem, with 5 or 6 hours, with some breaks, of course. But so it's a long game, but I really like it. It makes it feel like it's an epic game, like you're really building a civilization, really you're really putting an effort to build your cities and your civilization up. And so that's why it's really nice that you have a sort of timer, because sooner or later people are going to get to that fifth technology level and win by technology. So if you win by technology, basically that means that you haven't pursued the other ways to win. Well, of course you could go for a technology to win as well, but normally the game is won by culture, military, or gold, I would say. Okay, enough of that. Sorry for forgetting it in the first video. I'm sure you're going to point it out in the comments, which is really good, because then I can improve my videos and I could, I have to practice my memory. Okay, anyway, back to Draco's city management. He's building a barracks. That means he will get +2 in military strength. So how does that work? Okay, and here we get the little black die here to show 2, so we just keep track of that. And that basically means that if we were fighting right now, me and Draco, we are both level 1. I haven't really gone into that, but we have these different levels of units. Right now we are both level 1 on the horseman and so on. If one of us upgrades by technologies, then that would go up, and you would flip this card, like instead of having a spearman, you would flip it so instead you have a pikeman, and he's stronger, he has more health. So right now we are both level 1, and if we would meet each other we would have a fight. But then after the fight is done, we calculate all the health of the troops that are still alive, and the one with the most health wins. And the thing is, Draco can add, because of his barracks, he can add 2 to that number, so he's probably gonna beat me if we were fighting right now. And the barracks, they can be built on any terrain except water, so he can build it anywhere he wants. And he will put it right here on this desert tile, because then he will cover up 1 trade, so he will lose that, but he will get 2 instead, so he's improving. Okay, so that was his city management. Now back to my city management, and I'm up to 9 in production, right? So I think it's time for me to build me a trading post from my technology code of laws. So I'll grab that over here, and that one means that I will get 1 culture and 2 trade from that space. But that one has to be built in the desert, so I will have to build it right here, and that means I will have to cover up 1 trade and 1 incense. So now I can't get incense easily. That's not a big problem. So I now have a trading post there. I will get more trade next round. Also, in my city management, I can spend 3 culture to move up the culture track. So I will do that. And I will go up to level 1 here. And when I do that, I will also grab one of these sort of action cards, or culture cards, they're actually called. And I'll grab a level 1. So I've got this one, and these are kept hidden from the other player, and you have a hand size as well. So in the beginning you have a hand size of 2, so you can have 2 of these cards, then you have to discard down to 2. So this is a gift from afar. It means I can at any time use this card to have one of these resources. So if I need to have a silk, for example, then I can use this card instead of having a silk. Like this, having a resource like this. Okay, so that was my city management. Now we move on to movement. And Draco is the first player to do it, and his scout here is going to do 1, and with 2 he's going to reveal this tile here. Let's see. Okay, he got an expansion tile, a lot of desert, and there's no huts, there's no villages. Instead there's a special tile here, which is this one, and this one is the Ark of the Covenant. And if you move in with an army figure, you will get it, and the player that does that will get 2 advances on the culture track for free. So that's a really good one to get. But on the other, I mean, the sort of pros and cons, I mean, these are nice with the special tiles, but the ordinary tiles have both a hut, or 2 huts, or 2 villages, or 1 of each. Okay, so now I think it's time for our first fight, actually. And where is it? Yeah, it's time for our first fight. Draco is going to attack the barbarians of this village. So we will have our first fight. Draco has his 3 cards. I will try to sort of make this fair. It's not that easy playing as 2 players at the same time. So he will put all of these fighting cards, units, into level 1s. So he has his hand over here. Let's see if I can show that like that. And then I will draw one of each card from the bank, which will be the barbarians. And I will play them, or if there were more players, the player to the right or the left, I don't remember, will play as the barbarian. And the defender always have an upper hand, because if there's a tie, then the defender wins. And but the defender has to play the first card. So let's say the barbarians puts out a horseman, 1 strength and 3 health. Draco sees this and he is going to okay, he can't really do that, so I think he could put in a spearman, then the spearman will hit the horseman first, but he wouldn't kill it anyway, so it doesn't really help him. If he does that, yeah, I think he's going to put a spearman anyway. So his spearman moves up against the horses here with the pike, with their spears. So they act first, because as you can see on the red card, the infantry card, they are trumping the cavalry. So he will do 1 damage first, and this horseman has 3 life or HP, so he will take 1 damage marker when he's still alive. Then he will do 1 damage back to Draco's infantry. So they each take 1 damage. Then it's back to the barbarians. So the barbarians, they will put out some archers, which has 2 attack and 2 in health. And they will open a new front like this. I mean, this it's called front. This front is locked. These guys can't do anything else for this game or this fight. They will survive, but they will be wounded, which will be removed. But anyway, and then Draco is going to use his horseman, and the horseman is trouncing the archers, because they're riding and cutting them down. And so he will do 3 damage right away to the archer, and the archer only has 2 health, so he's dead right away. That was good for Draco. But then it's time for the barbarians, and now this front is open because there's nobody there. So the barbarian can put in his spearman, and as I said earlier, the spearman will thump the horseman. So then they will do 2 damage to 1 health on Draco's horseman, so he will die. Draco. And then let's see. There's no point in doing that really. So Draco will just open a new front with his archer over here, which means he's not facing anyone. So then we will do a count of the remaining health. Draco has 3 on the archer, 3 on the infantry, but -1 because of the wounds, so he has 5 in total. But then he has 2 on his military strength because of his barracks, so he has 7 in total. The barbarian has 2 plus 3 minus 1, so that is 4. So it's 4 versus Draco's 7. So Draco wins the fight. The barbarian cards are discarded. And see, so Draco gets these units back to his hand, but now he lost his horseman, but he won the fight. And also, if he had lost the fight, he would have lost also his little army figure. And so he also wins this tile, and we'll say, oh, it's nuclear. So Draco has nuclear power in the Middle Ages or something, in the ancient times. But he can keep this, and when we move forward, he will be able to make nuclear plants or nuclear bombs, of course. So he can nuke me later on and he will keep the secrets. I don't know that he has that. Quite exciting. And let's see. So basically, I'm just gonna say that these flags or army figures, they aren't really anything in themselves. They aren't strong. You need to have the unit cards to back them up to do the fighting. So let's say you have a lot of these, a lot of games, I'm just thinking about, Risk and all that stuff. You have all these units moving on the board and you're fighting with them. Memoir 44 or whatever. But here you actually have to have unit cards. It's the unit cards that are the strong ones. The flags are just a representation of that on the board. And they can, of course, they move the troops around, so you need them as well. Okay, so that was Draco's movement. And as you saw, the fight was instigated when someone moves an armor figure into something else. The other player's units or something. You could, of course, attack cities as well. That's how you win the game by military. And then you would move your army figures and should have, the many of them by then. And you move into the city and you will fight. And the city has defense in itself, like I showed earlier. Like mine has plus 14, which means I have 14 strength extra. So Draco needs to get a lot of barracks and so on to be able to match that, which makes it quite hard to win by military, at least in a 2-player game. Okay, so back to me, it's my movement. I will move my armor figure 1, 2. And I will use the scout here to open this one. And I got some, let's see, I got a village and a hut right here. And with my second move with this scout, I will move into this space. So now he can send 1 trade back home. For the next round, when we do the trade count, I will have 1 more. Now this scout is going to move 1, 2, so he's sending production, 1 hammer back to me. That was my movement. And now we go to the next phase, which is research. And none of us have enough trade to be able to research. If you look over here, Draco only has 4, I only have 3. So no research happens this round. And we will go to the next round. And let's see, I'll just keep going, I guess. And we go to, let's see, I will be the first player again. And I will do my start of turn. And as usual, I get 2 culture, 1 for the pacifism base, and then 1 extra for having a scout on the board. And Draco doesn't have anything that triggers in the start of the turn, so we go straight away for the trade phase. Now I have 1 from the scout here, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2 for my trading posts, I will move up to 8. Draco, he's got, let's see, his scout is sending him 2 hammers to production. So he's got 1 from there, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So he's moving up to 10. He's almost at the level 2 mark. If he had gotten over that, then he could research a level 2 technology. But he will have to wait with that. Okay, and then we go to the city management. And in the city management, I can build something, I can buy something, I can devote my city to the arch. But, before I do that, if I would do that, then I would count all these little culture symbols. So doing it now, that would mean you always get 1 from your city, and then you get for each of the shown marks of culture, I would just get 2 in total, so that would be kind of waste. So I think instead I'm going to, well, there's still some exploration to do. I want to get over here and fight the barbarians and so on. So I will buy a armor figure for 4, and you can only buy 1 thing until you get a level 2 technology called engineering. Then you can buy 2 things if you have enough of the production. So I got 1 guy over here. I'll put him right there. He has to be in my outskirts, remember? And then I would spend 3 culture again to move on track here. I'll get another level 1 culture card. Let's see, duty and honor in battle. So this happens, I can use it when I'm in a battle. Before drawing your battle force, build 1 unlocked unit for free. So that just means that when I draw my battle force, which are these cards, then I will also get another unit, one of them I can choose, that is unlocked for free. And then you might ask, why would I draw? Well, if I have, say, 5 cards here, or more than 3, if I have 4 cards, then if I'm doing a battle with 1 army figure, I can only use 3 cards, so I will have to randomly draw 3. If I were moving around with 2 army figures at the same time, and I will fight them, that would mean every army figure, I mean the first one is 3 cards, and the next, every other one adds 2. So then I could actually, with 2 figures, I could have 5 cards, and let's say I have 8 cards, and I have to draw 5. So that's how it works. So I bought that, and that was my city management. We go to Draco's city management, and he has 8, he has actually 10 production, because the scout is sending this home. So I think Draco is going to get himself the wonder. I will show you over here. I mean, it wouldn't be a civilization game without wonders, right? So here you have, I took this one, here we have different wonders. This one, for example, gives, at the start of the turn, you gain 3 trade. So that would mean you could faster get to the research. But it costs 15 points of production it's called. But there's also a discount here, so you would get it for 10 if you had the metalworking technology. And what do you know, look over here, Draco has the metalworking technology, so it's only 10 to him, so he's going to buy that one. That means he will put it over here somewhere, and all this stuff. So he will remember that at the start of the turn. From now on, he will get 3 trade. And that cost him 10 of his production, which he had. He will take this little mark here to show that he has this, the Colossus, it's called, the Wonder. And we'll have to place it somewhere in his city. I will give 1 culture, so I think he doesn't want to cover up these trades, because we're kind of low on trades. And you can put them anywhere except on water, so he will put it up in the mountains here, and we cover up 1 production, which means he goes down to 7 in production total. So that was nice for him, and we will do a restock over here of the, move these down. And now, these were all ancient wonders, but now we will get into the medieval area. So we will get a medieval wonder, which is the Brandenburg Gate. And I can just, I can't go through all of these, of course, but I can just say that this one is making it impossible for the enemy army figures to be in your city outskirts if you built this. So that's a defensive building. And we just put this in preparation up here, so let's put it out there. And then we will go to the next phase, which is the movement phase, and I'm first to go. Let's see. Now I will start off by going to the hut here. I got the spy, and spies are sort of like a currency you can use for certain technologies, like the writing that Draco has here. You can use a spy to cancel a city action that someone else is doing, so he could stop me from building 1 round. I have a spy now, and I can't move anywhere else because I'm stopping by taking a hut. And let's see, because I have pacifism as a social policy, my scout can explore huts as well. So he will go over here, and we will see, I will get some silk. That's nice. And the scout, he will explore the final hidden tile here. Let's see what that is. This one is really nice. It's It has 2 huts, so we'll put out some huts. If I can grab some from my box. Let's see, like that. And it also have 1 gold space here. That means right now I can't stop in water, but if I could put one of my scouts on the space here, and then I would have 1 gold all the time, and he would send 1 gold home. Or I could build another city here, so that the gold ends up in the outskirts of that city, and then I would have that gold all the time. But that was it for now, I think. No, I can actually move this guy as well. He was just opening here, so I'll move him over here. And here we will get 1 culture and 1 trade that he can send home. So that was my movement. Then we go to Draco's movement. And let's see if he can... Yeah, he can actually use his armor figure now to go 1, 2, 3. Grab this extra tile here. I already forgot what it's called. But I do remember that it gives him 2 steps on the culture track for free right away. Which means he gets 2 culture cards, so he got some duty and honor, same as I got. And he also got some drought. At the start of the turn, he can choose a non-mountain square that does not contain any buildings or wonders. Place a disaster token on that square, desert side up. That square is a desert square for the rest of the game. So let's say I got my other city built over here. Oh yeah, I got a goal, right? But then Draco could play the drought, and he would turn it into desert instead, and I wouldn't have any gold. So that's quite nice. And there's also cancel cards, so you can someone plays it out and say, oh, your city's outskirt here is going to be desert, and then you can say, no, it's not, because I have a cancel card. That's a really fun mechanic. This sort of play a card, and you can also even cancel a cancel card. So you could play 1 card affecting another player, and he plays a cancel card back at you, but then you play a cancel card that cancels his cancel card. It sounds a bit confusing, but anyway. So that was his army figure, and now his scout can move as well, so I think he will start preparing for the 3rd city. Oh, the 2nd city, sorry. So he will move 1, 2 up here. And as you can see, all the 8 spaces around this are empty, so at the start of the next round, Draco is going to build another city here. So that would be exciting. Okay, and that was the movement. Now we go to the research, and now at the same time we will decide. Now Draco is going to go for level 1, so he goes all the way down, even though he has more than needed. That's how it works. And let's see, what does he want? What would benefit him the most right now? Let's see. Didn't want that. He's actually going to get the same one that I have, the Code of Laws, because that means he can build trading posts in the desert, and he's going to get some desert spaces right at the new city over here. So he will get that one. Just have to move some stuff here. My table is almost too small to be playing this game. Okay, back to me. What am I getting? I'm getting a level 1 as well. I go down to 0. I will grab my level 1 cards, and I will take a look here. And let's see, yeah, I think I will get the philosophy, which means I can build a temple. The temple is a star building, so it's sort of like I'm aiming for culture. And let's see, also this has a really nice feature. In the city management, I can spend 3 different resources. It doesn't matter which ones. And as it happens, I have 3 resources here. And then I will get a random great person, and you will see that in the next round how the great person works for that, because I will get one. So that was good. Okay, and then we are done with this round, and we will go to the next one. But I will just take a bit of a break here, and we will go to part 3 as we come back. And I hope you enjoy the video. I hope you will like it, and you can just click over here to go right to the 3rd part and the ending part of this run through. Thank you for watching.